Welcome one, welcome all, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody out there. Welcome to the virtual Eldora Speedway for the season opener for the TCR Sprint Car Series. Again, here at the Eldora Speedway, joined by Jake Rowell and Nathan Mon. Fellas, how are we doing?
And Davis, we are doing great today. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. Hopefully you didn't drink too much eggnog and not eat too much food. You're ready for some grid racing here at Eldora. Jake, how are you doing?
Davis, Nate, pleasure to be up here in the booth with you boys, getting ready to watch this Eldora Sprint Car Series race here for the TCR Sprint Car Series. Should be an exciting show. Can't wait to get these cars on track.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're just finishing up qualifying here, getting ready to go green in the first heat. Looking at least two heats here at Eldora. Tell me about the experience you guys have here at Eldora racing this track.
Yeah, I mean, personally, you can definitely get away with ripping that high side, carrying a lot of speed, especially with these sprint cars. Grip up real nice up there, and you're able to stay on the throttle a lot longer. But at bottom side too, you're able to get those runs or get those slide jobs and make those passes, make those moves, and really get in the thick of it. From what I've seen, but that all changes as the track wears, as the race goes on, and everything. And you got to find grip where you can. Jake, I'll throw it over to you with anything else.
Absolutely. I was waiting for someone to say that word, slide job. We're about to see so many of those here tonight at Eldora. Between that high line ripping, and then when you're parked out behind them trying to make that pass, you got to throw it in there down low side there, and you just got to park it up in front of them. But it's going to be the guys that are going to be able to cut underneath those slide jobs and keep that momentum rolling in these sprint cars. I've not done too many sprint car races here, but done some super lates, some NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here. This place is a blast. Cannot wait to see all these gentlemen out on the track at Eldora. It's going to be a great time.
Definitely is going to be a great time. I've always thought this is the perfect dirt track, and I don't know why that is exactly. It's just it's a big speedway when it comes to dirt racing. Always multiple grooves at this place, and it's going to be a great show here. So we are gridding here for heat number 1, and it looks like it's going to be, I'm trying to get the exact lineup.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Lachlan Phillips, Matt Grimm, Matt Videifer, Cody McCorkle, and Zach Smith rolling off heat 1 here.
It does look like we are going to have 3 heats here tonight before our feature.
Awesome. We love to see that. A lot of cars here. It's going to be a great show, and I believe everyone's going to make the feature here. So mainly just racing for positions here, as well as some potential bonus points in these seats. It's going to be a good time. And something interesting going on here, and I know you guys haven't been a part of the last couple of seasons with the TCR Sprint Car Series, but these two guys on the front row, Lachlan Phillips and Matt Grimm, both former members of the Wheelby Racing team, no longer with the team at this point. They have gone to other teams. I don't really know the situation there. I don't know if they're going to be with if they're on the same team at this point. I don't know if they're on different teams. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But I can tell you this: they're going to be some favorites to win this feature tonight.
Well, hopefully at the end of that feature, they looked fast in qualifying, looked pretty quick in practice as well. Hopefully keep it up through the heats and the feature, and hopefully they'll be talking with us afterwards. So maybe we'll get to hear some of the insights around the team changes and all that stuff later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, don't realize the momentum that they might gain or lose from leaving that team. But one thing I do know, these guys that are going to be in all 3 of these heats with everybody moving on to the feature, if I was strapped in there getting ready to roll off, I would just be using these heats to try and learn everything and anything I could to use towards that final feature. With everybody moving on into the show, it doesn't really matter. Like you said, Davis, all that changes here is really going to be where you're going to be lining up. But you might be able to learn something that, you take that to the feature, could end up winning you the race. So this is going to be really interesting. Looks like pace car is rolling off here for heat number 1. So about to get this thing underway.
Absolutely. And currently only seeing 4 cars on the track right now. So maybe one car is not necessarily going to be running the heat. Probably going to be okay for them. Again, I don't think they're going to miss the feature because of that. But this is definitely going to be interesting. Got us a star-studded field. Again, got Lachlan Phillips as well as Matt Grimm in this race, as well as Zach Smith. Let's not sleep on him. This is actually a street stock racer. Runs the weekly series at the Lucas Oil Raceway out in Missouri. So he's definitely not a slouch here. Obviously, some of you longtime followers know he has broadcast with us a few times, as well as Cody McCorkle. Again, he's kind of a crazy guy, but he also knows how to kind of win in some places that he definitely shouldn't be winning. So this is going to be interesting here to see what happens.
Well, it looks like we got the variety pack with everything you just said. So going to be interesting here with these 4 guys. Leave it up to you, Davis. Here they come out of turn 4.
All right, well, here we come. And we are green at Eldora for heat number 1.
So go down into 1. Everybody you can see here is still using that inside. Kind of interesting to see, but like I said, just going to use these short, quick laps, just kind of gain everything and anything you can towards that feature.
And it looks like that the bottom is the place to be, as Lucky Phillips is really trying to protect that bottom there, and Matt Grimm is really wanting to try to use that bottom to get under him, but is not able to at the time.
Yeah, Matt Grimm is searching for everything he can to make a move on Lucky Phillips. Really close there as they go into 1. And coming through 3 and 4, you'll see Matt Grimm. He's just kind of searching, feeling out, feeling around the different grooves on this wide racetrack, and just trying to see, what does it take? What's it going to take to make a move on Lucky Phillips up front?
Yeah, Grimm has changed up his entry here into the corners. He's staying up towards the wall a little bit later than Lockman is, and I think that's just allowing his center speed to be a lot quicker, which is why you keep seeing Grimm having to back off. That way he doesn't run into the back of him, as you see right there out of 4 this time. Now he's going to be side by side maybe going into turn 1.
Just over halfway in this heat. Lucky Phillips still hanging on. Maybe getting up the bottom a little bit. Not quite. Matt Grimm's right there.
Oh!
Contact.
Don't know
That's
if
gonna leave
Lockman's
the
going to
door
be
open.
happy with that.
That's leave the door open for Matt Grimm as he slides in, takes first away from Lucky Phillips. Lucky Phillips going to be aggressive, go down towards the inside in 3 and 4. It's not going to work out for him as Grimm's able to keep that momentum around that kind of that middle groove as Lucky Phillips just trying to kind of regain now.
Couldn't quite make it happen that time around as coming down to the closing laps here. Remember who's in 3rd here. If these two tangle up, there's Zach Smith right in the wings as this race might be over and I have screwed up here, maybe.
Oh, little fireworks after the checkered flag here in Heat 1.
It looks like Matt Grimm has won the heat. And again, some fireworks, as y'all said, after the checkered flag. As I'm gonna try to be a little better about seeing what lap we were actually on. I'm gonna get my particular ticker coming up. But go ahead.
These heats are so short.
They fly by so quick.
It goes by so quick.
These high-powered horsepower cars are make it go by real fast.
Absolutely. Reminds me of Bristol Motor Speedway. All of a sudden you look up, 15, 20 laps have gone by.
100%. While we're rolling off here, can we get the lineup for heat number 2?
Absolutely. Leading off Heat 2 is going to be Jack Anderson. Then we got Trent Curtis starting P2, Mason Heinbaugh in P3, Chandler Carroll in P4, and rounding out the 5th place can be Chris Franks.
How about it?
Yeah, actually kind of recognize a few of these names. I know Trent Curtis was in your late model league that you ran, Davis, so interesting to see how he drives here on a dirt oval, and it looks like all of the cars are already out on track behind the pace car. It looks like the lights are off. Davis, I'm going to hand that off back to you here.
Another star-studded field as we got the league owner starting in the outside of the front row. Coming through turns 3 and 4 as we are green in heat number 2.
Green flag is out. Jack Anderson's going to be the leader. As you see, this heat's starting to, we saw the bottom kind of prevail there. And, a little contact back there for 4th and 5th. But looks like these guys kind of moved up a lane and a half, trying to find some more speed. The track obviously used in a little bit from that first heat, but not too much. Just interesting to see the different line that these guys are using compared to the first heat.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of contact back there off of turn 2 between the 4th place and 5th place drivers. I'm not sure. It looks like they got it all figured out now, but definitely
Yeah.
losing a lot of time to this front three.
Big time slide job on Trent Curtis by who was it that did that? Was
Lightning McQueen car. That's who it was.
Well, it was Lightning McQueen himself. Looks like it was Mason. I'm trying to make up the last name.
Yeah, Mason
Heimbaugh.
Heimbaugh. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, big time racing for the second position here, as Jack Anderson, newcomer to the TCR Sprint Car Series, is pulling away right now.
A little bit of a slide job there from Mason, as Trent Curtis going to go back underneath him into 3. But yeah, like you said, leader right now, checking out. Lights are out at the hotel. He's kind of put his sail in the wind and starting to drive away from these guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to see in his rear view, is these guys battling as hard as possible, because he's just able to lock in, run some clean, fast laps, and pull away from these two.
1.5 laps to go here as we are coming to the white flag. I'm tracking it better this time, so we're improving here.
Leader crosses the line, got the white flag out. We still have this battle here for second. Trent Curtis to the bottom, Mason Heimbaugh behind him. What's he do down here in turn 3?
Looks like he's going to play nice this time into 3. They're just going to follow a single file line here. It looked like Mason kind of caught the wall coming across the stripe on that, coming to the white, and kind of took away any spot or any chance he had of making a run at Trent there on the last lap.
Jack Anderson definitely takes the heat there. Trent has to settle for third there, as that will conclude heat number 2. Moving into heat number 3 now, and let us know about that starting lineup.
Absolutely. Rolling off first here in Heat 3, we've got Logan Hoskins. P2 is going to be Taylor Wineland. P3 is going to be William Eads. P4 is going to be Joshua Johnson. And P5 is going to be Julian Valdez. As we got these cars rolling off pit lane behind that pace car. Boys, Heats 1 and 2 been pretty clean. Do we see anything change up maybe here for Heat 3? Or?
It's a good question.
It's a great question. I mean, I think Heat 2 is a little bit closer. They were really fanning out going into 1, just fighting for that initial position. These guys have been they just watched these 2 heats, so now they've seen kind of how this is going to be. Maybe they keep it just as close as Heat 2 started out for the whole 6 laps.
It's a few less cars here, maybe a little more space here, maybe allows for a little more aggression. I'll tell you this too, definitely a lot of newcomers here. I know Julian Valdez has been a part of the series for a little bit now, and he's definitely an ace at these. Don't sleep on that guy. But this is going to be interesting. There's a lot of unknown coming into this third heat.
Absolutely, and pace cars going into 3, which means we're going to see the green flag from the starter this time by. The leader here is going to have control. Davis, passing the baton to you as always.
And here we go. Green flag in the final heat. 8 laps.
Here we go. Logan's going to start using that low side, trying to run away from the field, but here comes Taylor Wineland back on the inside as they start heading into turn 3. They're going to be side by side here.
Yeah, it looked like Taylor had to sacrifice a lot of speed in the middle of the corner there, but he's going to dive back to the inside, side by side again, but it's just not going to work out. He's really not able to carry as much speed as Logan is through the middle of the corner.
But they sure are close, I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you that 26 car is right on the bumper of that 48. Try to make that high side work, using a little bit of a crossover move, and he's there.
Yeah, he's trying to get it wound up top and cut back down about halfway through the corner, get some speed to make a move on Logan, but I think the higher and higher he's going right now, it's not going to be as beneficial. What he was doing early on was really working. But Logan's running clean right now. You see him down there on the low side. He's not getting too close to the wall. He's keeping good momentum off. I mean, he's running a race right now where he's got that car in his mirror, but he's got it all under control, not too close or anything that might make him lose this lead.
And for Taylor, I mean, it does look like he's definitely got some breathing room behind him. So, if you're not really trying to push super hard, you're okay with your P2 in the heat for the points or whatever. I kind of like that. Just search around, see what you can find, because any sort of information you can get right now that you think can help you in the future, you definitely want it while you're out here racing around the cars.
Got to move down here into turn 3. Here comes
Big
Taylor
battle
on
for
this.
the lead!
Oh,
Holy
contact! They made contact. We got the white flag. He's going to go back
more
underneath
contact!
them. And now it's brought the whole party in here.
We're all here. Yeah. Let's
Everyone
see what
cheers ahead into
happens.
3.
Oh, are they going to be 3 wide?
Holy moly! William is going to win
my God.
the heat, I believe. Yes.
Wow, William
coming
by
from 3 seconds back.
thousands.
What a race. Holy cow, they were 3 wide coming to the checkered flag. Let's look at that one again. That was
Absolutely, Davis. Back
Yeah.
that thing up. Let's see this again. That was a finish right there. And we called it. We said Heat 3 might get a little spicy, and boy, did it
sure did.
deliver.
sure enough, it did. Let's take a look at this
Wow.
whole last lap one more time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been trying to keep up with what these names, what these names are, just because they're all new guys. Looks like they're gonna be putting on a show here.
Absolutely. We might have newcomers, we might have veterans, but right now, the mesh of talent in this race seems to be pretty solid. We are going to have some racing in this 35-lap feature that gets rolled off here in about 2.5 minutes. We'll get these cars all lined up behind that beautiful pace car and back out onto the track here at Eldora Speedway under the lights.
Gosh, what a finish to that.
It really was. I mean, the fact that those two going at it, a little bit of contact, a little bumping each other up out of the groove, third and fourth found their way right there. Almost, obviously third ended up with William Eads winning the heat, but that was a nail biter of a photo finish.
Yeah, I mean, William Eads just said, yeah, don't mind if I do. I will slide right in there and take that heat win. As, Logan and Taylor just kind of a little bit too much contact there. I think Logan was a little upset with how it went coming to the white, and maybe try to give a little back to him, but yeah, just opened the door for William to slide in and take the win.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and honestly, it kind of looked like that 48 car almost had it made, but just slid up a little bit. And again, Eads just had the momentum coming off of turn 4, and just made it happen. What an exciting finish to that race!
Absolutely, without a doubt, Davis. That was one of those where it's not over till it's over. We all thought it was probably going to be Logan and Taylor, like you said. They got a little washed up out of turn 4. They lost some momentum, and with William being farther back, how he was coming to the white flag, was just able to keep all that momentum up and took the shortest way to the start finish line and came home with the heat win. So,
I mean,
yeah.
Three finishes there within the 10th. I mean, that's absolutely insane with the winner being in third going in the final corner. I mean, that's just insane stuff.
Well, the great thing about this is that we still have a feature race to go, so we get to do this all again. It's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely, it is.
Well, counting down in the final seconds here of this warm up, as we are getting ready to grid. Give me a pick for this feature tonight.
Wow.
Pick for tonight.
I know
That's
it's
gonna be a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to go with Jack Anderson. He really did look strong in that second heat. Was able to pull away. Looks really calm out in front. I know he's not gonna be starting up front, but he will be on that. I believe he'll be on that front row. So it's just gonna be interesting to see how he handles the traffic. But I think if he can get out in front, I think he's got a good shot at this.
Absolutely. That's a good pick there, Nate. I think I'm going to have to go with the man that was starting P1 for Heat 1. There was some contact from the eventual winner of Heat 1, Matt Grimm, which, fair game. I mean, they barely touched, but to his defense, Lockman Phillips got a little moved out of the way. Nothing wrong with it. But the speed he had and everything there in Heat 1, he's going to battle some adversity here, rolling off, a little deeper in the field than I'm sure he would have thought, but he's got 35 laps to do it. Pace car and all of these drivers are rolling off pit lane here. Boys, I'm starting to get some chills. I'm ready to go here at Eldora. As
am I. I'm going to go with the other side of that contact you just mentioned. I'm going to go with Lockie Phillips here. I think he's got some big speed here. I think there's a reason that they were so close together. That's my pick. I'm going to go with the Aussie.
All right, man. Go ahead and follow me and take the same pick. I see how it is.
I just took Matt Grimm. Sorry.
No, man. It's all right, though.
Oh, well, okay. I thought you taking Matt Grimm.
No. You can take Matt Grimm. You can take Lockman. It don't matter, because at the end of the day, after these 35 laps, we could all very well be wrong, and somebody back there in the middle of the pack starting last, you never know. Anything's possible here in these races.
Absolutely. Well, we are rolling through 3 and 4 right now. coming to the green flag. Gonna be a banger. 35 laps on the scoreboard here. It's gonna be a big show.
Pace cars off, Davis Warren.
And we are green in Eldora.
It looks like Anderson got a good jump on that green flag. He's going to take the high side.
Caution is out.
Caution is out already.
For something. I am not sure what.
We must have a big wreck. Oh, back of the pack. It looks like had a little bit of a jumble there on the restart or on the start of the race.
Let's try to take a look here if we can. Give me just a second. Trying to produce this thing while I'm commentating.
It does look like all cars are rolling right now. Taking a look now to see if there's anybody rolling into the pits.
Oh,
damages or
I'm
anything.
seeing it. I'm seeing it. This was an admin thrown caution because it happened on the start coming to the green flag, and we just missed that. Give it just a second here, as it is between Tyler Wineland and Chandler Carroll.
Oh, some of the guys that were about middle of the pack. Taylor Wineland, if you remember, ran really well in that third heat. So,
just a big stack up on the start. Chandler Carroll doesn't quite get going, and Taylor Wineland just runs into the back of him. Now, thankfully, it doesn't take a whole lot, I don't believe, to get these cars repaired. Caution laps do not count here, so I don't think these guys are going to be out of this race whatsoever. We definitely don't want to see that, as Taylor Wineland was super fast in that in his heat.
no, we never do. Obviously, that's the beauty of iRacing, right? You get into a wreck, you can roll down pit lane. It'll give you a set amount of time depending on how big or how much damage you have. We also, every single driver in this race has a fast repair. So if you don't know what that is, you go into pit lane, you have that checked for your pit stop. That's going to make your car essentially be clean, if you will, giving you a brand new car, no damage, no engine issues, anything like that. So a little bit of strategy here with that. Pace car is off. Leader's going to go very early here as we're back underway at Eldora Speedway.
Matt
Grimm leading.
Yes, sir. Takes that initial lead again. Jack Anderson there. William Eads in the third spot, hoping to create some magic again like he did in his heat. But it looks like Lockie Phillips is there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lockie Phillips wasted no time. I mean, through 1 and 2, he absolutely was ripping it. He had a slide job on Willie Meads and wasted no time getting up to that third spot.
Jack Anderson is there as well. Definitely trying whatever line that Matt Grimm is not in. He is trying to make some magic work. Definitely got the time for it. Definitely got the speed. As we're looking at like a 3-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, Lockman's doing a real interesting lane. Oh, as you see him get up into the fence, it's going to slow him down big time. You're going to allow William Eads to get around him, but they're side by side now as they go into 3. Lockman almost hits the outside wall. They almost hit again. But, man, this is what I'm saying. When you get a little rattled in your heat, kind of start further back, you start trying to gain too much too quick, and you start making little mental mistakes. Maybe that's what we're seeing right here out of this third-place driver.
And the top is coming in right now for these top two guys. They are really trying to make that work. They've really shifted up to that wall. And at this point, it might be a call just to see who gets back to the bottom first.
Absolutely. And it looks like, Lockie's kind of settled into that third spot. As he gets on the wall again, that's going to bring William Eads back into it.
Oh, he throws the block. We have heavy contact. Sorry,
Nate. With him and Logan Hoskins. And there's more contact with him and William Eads as Lockie Phillips just muscling his way back up to third after getting into the wall.
But here comes William Eads back to the inside as they go down the backstretch into 3. He's going to pinch him up towards the wall, dives back down to the bottom. Who's going to get the bigger run off turn 4? It's going to be Lockie as they go into 1. But this is where we've seen him hit the wall a handful of times now. I'm not too sure. He keeps throwing the slider, and that's when it gets real risky for him. But as you see him start really pulling away with that move.
And here comes Hoskins trying to take that 4th spot. Looks like he might get it here if the slide job is not complete. But yeah, maybe it's going to be.
William Eads. If you ask me right now, it looks like we're in the moment seeing the transition from the bottom not really doing any favors for anyone, but the top is ripping. But we see all these guys, as you see that P5 driver there hit the outside fence of Logan Hoskins.
Yeah, that's the risk and reward of that high side. If you're up there near the fence, you're inches from it, right? So all that momentum that you're building up, that could be gone in an instant the minute you touch that wall.
Still a major battle for the lead here. As Anderson is side by side with Matt Grimm. onto the back straightaway. Hard battle for the lead here. Anderson back to the top, really trying to make that work. Matt Grimm maybe trying to dare back to the bottom. Big time battle for this lead.
Oh, he's going to throw it in on the bottom there. But he's going to do the
Into
crossover. He
the
hits the
wall.
wall.
Oh, that's going to lose a lot of momentum as they head into 3. They back side by side, but it looks like Matt Grimm's going to have to drive off and be able to clear Jack Anderson there into 1.
Big time
As
contact
Anderson
into the
into
wall. Anderson loving that wall right now, or probably hating it more so.
I tell you what, obviously, for you race fans that are watching here, I'm sure you remember the Eldora Truck Series race where Kyle Larson ripped basically the right side of his truck off, running the cushion, running up by the fence, running the boards, if you will. But unfortunately, these boys here tonight are driving wing sprint cars, and you cannot be hitting the wall that much. They're going to start feeling it as they go off into these corners. The more and more they're starting to hit them.
Yep.
Don't look now, boys, but if you look up at the scoring pylon, we're already on lap 18.
We are already about halfway. Yes, sir, right there. As you definitely don't want to be in that wall, and that's why Jack Anderson is ripping that bottom, still trying to make that pass on Matt Grimm. What do you think it's going to take to get around him? Because he's trying different lines here. What would you do if you were in his shoes?
Honestly, Davis, great question. I would be doing the same thing. You've seen what's worked. You know you can drive back up to the rear bumper of him. Why not continue to take these next maybe 5-10 laps of doing some R&D, if you will, seeing what might work for a last lap dive bomb or a pass or a slide job, whatever it may be. There's no sense in just running right behind him. You know that's going to work as you see him get closer and closer as he's starting to find out what works for him and what he's going to try to do to make this pass.
I think another thing, too, that he's got to think about is the timing of this, right? Like Jake, you brought it up, that last lap dive bomb. You can lead all these laps, but it doesn't matter unless you lead that last one, right? So, I mean, is he thinking that? Is he thinking, hey, maybe I set him up out of 4 if I get a good run? He might be thinking some stuff about that, too. So it's kind of a mental strategy, a mental fight here, along with the race here on the track. So there's a lot going on here right up front. It looks like Matt's going to pull away just a hair, but, as we've said, it looks like Jack can get right back in that bumper as they
He's
almost
right there.
connect there at the exit of 4.
Yes, sir. He's right there. And I tell you, maybe the strategy here is just to wait on Matt Grimm to make a mistake. As it's definitely possible.
Now, we got lap cars. You know what? That might prevail here for some drivers trying to battle this lap traffic. But like you're saying, Nate, with that time, man, if I was the one...
spin in turn 1. Caution is
we're
out.
going to have a yellow.
Out.
Here we go.
Interesting. Looks like, 9 to go?
It'll be 9 to go once they get the green, because obviously here in sprint car racing on the dirt, caution laps are not going to count, so you're still going to see these 9 laps for these drivers around Eldora Speedway. But back to what you were saying, Nate, of timing, right? If I'm sitting in the car and I'm sitting there at P2 like we've been seeing these last few laps, I'm not making that move on the white flag. I'm making that move into 4, coming to the white. That way, into 1, I can block the guy behind me. That way, if you do it too soon on the white flag into 1, you might get blown by in the back stretch, and that guy's probably just going to take to the bottom into turn 4 coming to the checkered, because if I'm that leader, why am I letting somebody slide job me, maybe run up into my left side? You just got to take it all away.
Taking a look at this replay here, as it is Joshua Johnson, who was in the 13th position there. Made a little spin going into turn 1. He was running a little low and actually clipped the inside wall, which caused him to loop it around. Did tow back onto the pit lane immediately, get off the racetrack. We definitely commend him for keeping the track safe, but just a little mental error there on the 117 car.
Absolutely. We still see these drivers behind the pace car, but as far as my concern right now, you've got to be planning what you're going to do. 9 laps here. We've seen it all night long. These laps are about 12 seconds, 13 seconds. They clip off like that. I mean, this is going to be an insane final 10-lap shootout, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, we are at 1 to go in turn 3 right now. I think, again, like you said, I think we're at about 10 laps to go. Pace car is off. This is going to be a wild one. Matt Grimm brings them back to green. Jack Anderson second. Lockie Phillips in third. Hoskins fourth. Eads in fifth. As there's a big battle for the second position.
Absolutely. Lockman got himself back into this battle for the lead, but he's got to find a way around that second-place driver. But at the same time, he's got to look in his mirror because fourth place is all over his rear bumper as well.
And we saw how aggressive Lockie Phillips is on these starts. You know, he gets good jumps every start. You know, he's not afraid to throw a slider on somebody right off the rip. And it looks like he kind of took the same approach. I think he had to back off just a hair to avoid some contact with Jack Anderson. But you know, it's definitely shaping up here for a big battle for the lead.
And Anderson is really hanging on there with that bottom line. I think he's making this work. There might be a pass made here, not too long here on Matt Grimm.
Absolutely. We're coming to 5 to go this time for Matt Grimm as the leader. As you see, Lockman Phillips back there threw a massive slide job. But Anderson was making the bottom work, but now it seems like Grimm is just walking away. As you see, I think Anderson might have just clipped the fence a little bit as well.
He definitely
going to
did.
slow down his lap as you see that leader. Oh, we got a
Caution
yellow flag out.
Yellow's out again. I was just going to say, it looks like that. It looks like maybe Taylor Wineland involved in that one. But I was just going to say, Jake, you know, might be running out of time for Jack Anderson, especially hitting the wall and a couple of mental mistakes there towards the end. But now that all changes. It's a whole new ballgame.
Absolutely does. That yellow flag that is flying as you see right now on your screen saves Anderson, in my opinion, because he definitely had been a ways away. Not saying he couldn't make it up, but definitely going to make it tougher, obviously, as we were coming down with 5 to go. So time was running out, but the saving grace, he's going to have to pull a Hail Mary here. And it looks like we actually have a new driver in P3 as well. So we've got some new drivers by the looks of it coming up here, maybe looking to, you know, steal this victory away.
As this was actually a pretty major incident here. Lockie Phillips got into the wall on the back straightaway, and it was the 48 of Hoskins got together, both spun around going into turn 3, collected. I'm trying to see who was collected. That was it was Matt Wiedefer, who was collected by the spinning Lockie Phillips. So major contact by the 3rd and 4th place guys. This does change everything. As we are 1 to green, I do believe. Is that right? Yeah, 1 to green. Yep.
It's a lot of drivers in that mid pack right there that just got taken out. So I mean, like we saw in the heats, anything can happen here. You know, with only a few to go. So these guys that were towards the back, now they're in the mid pack, and now they're looking, you know, maybe even if it's not for a win, they might be just looking for a podium as they roll off, and we are green again.
The door has opened up, and we are back to green. And Jack Anderson has taken the lead. Slide job going into turn 1 to 2, but Matt Grimm is going to defend that on the bottom. It is slide job city here in Eldora.
Yes, it is.
Big
we got
contact
there.
And caution is out. I don't believe for them.
Oh, is that going to be Anderson? I believe Anderson's going to keep the lead with the timing of that yellow and where they were in relation to the start-finish line.
It's almost like he knew what was coming.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge by Anderson. A great drive on that lap they had under green to get the lead, hold on to it, and, you know, avoid that contact right when that yellow came out. I don't think it was between them. But they were mighty close heading into turn 1. It looked like Jack may have just been a little loose coming off the corner, maybe just unsettled the car a little bit going into 1. But a great drive from him to, you know, get the lead back on that huge slide job into 1 and hold on to it for this caution.
Let's take a look at the replay here as I'm trying to see who this is that spins out. So I can tell you that Trent Curtis gets into, I'm trying to see who this is that he gets into. Looks like it might be Julian Valadez. I'm not sure, but
it might be is it Mason?
I think it might have been Mason Heimbaugh. I believe that's who it was.
Mason Heimbaugh. Yeah, you're correct. So Mason Heimbaugh is a little low coming off of turn 4. Gets a little loose. Trent Curtis gets into him, and they just go both barrel rolling on the front straightaway and start to, you know, transform these sprint cars into some non-wing sprint cars.
Absolutely. And like you were saying, we do believe it was Mason, and he was given an EOL penalty. So what that's going to do for that driver, he's going to lose the position he was at, send him to the back of the line, obviously going to make his night. Probably not how he wanted, obviously, going from about P4 to running 13th with, you know, 2-3 laps to go once we get the green here. So that's a tough turn of events there for Mason Heimbaugh.
Absolutely is. But coming down to the closing laps here, pace car in turn 4. That's right. And we are coming back to green. Jack Anderson, the leader, contact already before we get to the green from Matt Grimm. But Jack Anderson's going to get a huge jump as we've got a green-white checker, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, are these guys sleeping or what? Jack Anderson drove away and has put bus lengths on P2 here. With only a few laps, I just do not see how this gets done from behind.
White flag in the air. Jack Anderson takes the bottom on the turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, runs the bottom in 3 and 4. And Jack Anderson, in his series debut, is going to win the Christmas Clash at Eldora. Matt Grimm in second, William Eads in third, Matt Vita for fourth, Lockie Phillips in fifth. What a race!
What a race is right, Nate. I mean, how break it down for us, man.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad I didn't have the broadcaster's curse tonight. You know, Jack Anderson wins his heat, wins the race. Excellent drive from him. You know, to stay out of all the contact. I know there was a lot of mid-pack fights, a lot of action on the track tonight. Absolutely incredible for the debut of the TCR Sprint Car Series.
We do love the TCR Sprint Car Series. Always something to look forward to here in the winter here as the fireworks are going off. The what do they call it? What's the word? The pyrotechnics are blasting. It's a show here at the Eldora Speedway, even in the virtual world, as we are going to attempt to get the podium finishers into the broadcast booth here. Not 100% certain that we'll be able to, but again, that race absolutely incredible by everybody.
Without a doubt, start off the season here, the Christmas Clash at Eldora. What a show. You saw the fireworks going off. I mean, we had our own fireworks in the race, and man, oh man, what a great race, guys.
And it was, I mean, a huge, looking through the starting lineup and the finishing results here, while we get those drivers up in the booth, or try to at least, a couple things just want to point out. You know, there was all that contact in the mid pack, a couple cautions that collected some cars. Matt Vidifer from 13th all the way to 4th. So remember, he didn't. I don't know if he. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he got wrecked out in his heat or if he didn't start it or what. You know, finished 5th in the heat, so didn't do anything there. But yeah, all the way from 13th, got up to just outside the podium here. So I mean, a great drive for him to keep his speed up, of course, but also, I mean, avoid all the wreckage. So definitely want to highlight that and point that out.
Absolutely, and it does look like that we have our podium finishers waiting in the guest room, or whatever we're calling this thing, the waiting room. Let's bring up William Eads right here. Just a second. William Eads, it's Davis in the booth. Do you have us? Maybe he's definitely muted on our end. William, are you there?
Might have to see if we can't. Oh.
William, you got us.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm having a difficulty here.
Okay.
Oh, good, man. We can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
Sorry, he's working on some things for himself. But I'll tell you, what a night he had. Winning that heat from, in a miraculous fashion, and found his way all the way up to the third position. He definitely had a night. I'm looking forward to ask him a few things about that, as he's still working through a few things here.
Yeah, I mean, just the composure in that heat race to see all that, I know it was exciting for us in the booth, exciting on track, hopefully exciting for the fans watching. But I mean, just the amount of composure he had to have to see everything going in front of him and still have that line.
We're gonna try this once again. William, do you have us? Maybe not. We will get back to William here. We're gonna see. We did just have our second place finisher in the room, and now he is not there. But I tell you, who we do have is our race winner. Let's just jump to him. Let's just start with old Jack here.
Yeah, we'll go from the top down. We had some technical difficulties, but we're gonna bring our winner in here, like you were saying, Dave. It's Jack Anderson.
Jack Anderson, race winner. You got a copy?
Yep, I'm here.
Brother, tell me about that run. You were kind of running second a lot of the race, but you definitely made the right moves at the right time. Tell us what went down there from your perspective.
Yeah, so I felt I was really, really good and during the warm up when the track was just starting to kind of slick off just a little bit, but it was kind of tough because I knocked the rear end out of the car a couple laps into it when I was trying to run down Matt. Matt was pretty quick tonight. I didn't think I was gonna have a chance. I thought the best I was gonna be able to run is second, but yeah, I just got a really, really good restart and hit the moisture correctly on the start, and even with a broke car, I don't know how I got it done, but we did.
Absolutely, Jack. Gotta ask you a question. We've seen a lot of greats win here, right? Kyle Larson, Tony Stewart, Christopher Bell, Casey Kane, the likes of those guys. What does it mean to come in here, Eldora, the Christmas Bash Clash, if you will, and win it first week, brand new to the league? How does it feel, man?
Oh, it's pretty sweet. I was supposed to run it last season, but I just never really got to it because I was focusing on. I don't remember what I was doing. I think it was kind of because it's in my wrestling season right now, and I'm pretty focused on that. But this year I was gonna try and give her another whirl and make some time for it. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's awesome to come here and win because I'm not really that good at Eldora. I've always kind of struggled at this place, but we got her done tonight, and that's all that matters.
Jack, take me through what was going through your head that second to last restart when you made the slide job to take the lead before that yellow came out. I mean, you were my pick tonight. You looked fast all night, qualifying, warm up, heat race, you name it, right? But take me through what was going through your head when you decided to dive down there on that second to last restart.
Yeah, I knew that once we got going, like a lap or two after the restart, that we weren't going to be able to get past him. So if I got a really, really good start, which I did, and I hit the moisture perfect to get a really, really good run down the front chute, then I was just going to let one fly and battle it out from there because I knew it was going to be hard to beat him with how broke my car was. Because whenever I went to try and touch the cushion, that's why I was running the slider line for most of the races. Because whenever I hit the cushion, the front end kept bouncing because the front end was towed out and the rear end was knocked somewhat out of it. It was a struggle, man, but yeah, it was fun. Good race with Matt. I don't think he's too happy with me because he's got done yelling at me in the other Discord, but it was fun.
Oh man. Well, hopefully we'll get to hear from him, maybe his perspective. But who all helped you get to this victory tonight?
M9 Sim Sport, best setups on the sim by far. They've been kicking butt here in the Pro Series this year. I didn't make it this year, but it was a lot of fun. Blake, I like to race with him a lot. Timmy, Kenny, Trevor Meyer, Ty Sloshenbach, Logan, and Mason. Oh, they're my teammates at Lightning Sim Sport. Yeah, those guys help out a lot, and they're really, really dedicated. Just got to figure out some kinks with some of the sets for practicing. We were trying to test yesterday, trying to make it somewhat like this, and it was pretty close. So, yeah, just good job to those guys, and can't thank them enough.
Absolutely. Well, you definitely tell you're in wrestling season because you definitely wrestled your way to that victory. So, good job on the win tonight, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That is Jack Anderson, winner of tonight's race. We're gonna give.
Dude, he sounds fired up, man.
I'll tell you what. Yeah,
that win.
I like it. I like it.
Like, you could hear it in his voice. That's what you want out of the winner of Eldora. But I kick it back to you, Davis. Who we bringing in next?
Well, we're going to attempt to bring in William Eads one more time, but again, definitely just feeling that energy off of Jack there. We're going to try this once more. Hey, William, do you got us? William, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, there you are. Hey, you got us?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. Listen, man, I think you might have had the most eventful night out of anybody tonight. From the finish to that heat, to clawing your way up to the third position. Walk us through it all.
Man, it's just as exciting to be able to race with these guys. I know a lot of these guys are on wheels and big old sim rigs. I'm sitting here on a controller, just wheeling a controller with all these guys with all their big stuff. In that heat race, I just seen the front two guys pretty much collect each other, and I knew the second place guy, he wasn't going to be very happy. So I knew he was just going to throw it in there. So I just kind of ran the high line, just drove her to the bottom and just kind of hope and prayed no one came down onto me when I made the pass. And then...
Did you say you're on a controller?
Yes, sir. I'm on a controller.
I'm hung up on that. Holy cow! You did all that on a controller. I'm very
That's
impressed.
unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah. And then coming into the feature there, I knew had the Aussie on the outside of me. I seen how quick he is. I went back through watching some of your guys' videos and stuff on last season and things on all the drivers, how they race, so I can know how to drive against them. So I knew I had some tough competition in front of me and stuff. So I knew if I could hold on, there would probably be some cautions to give me a chance there at the end. I just couldn't get up on the wall with the controller, so I had to run the middle, pull the wing forward a little bit, just let her eat through the middle and just pick some people off when they're bouncing off the wall.
Absolutely. Like you said, there were definitely a lot of people bouncing off the wall. So interesting to hear. Obviously, you couldn't run up by the wall with the controller, but heck of a drive by you. There's no chance Nathan, Davis, or I could probably do what you did. So kudos to you on that. That's pretty badass, honestly. But before we let you go, William, obviously it takes a lot of people to get you here. Is there anyone you want to thank? Shout out. The floor is yours.
Yeah, BS Racing, my mechanic RJ, and BJK Sports. Thanks to all you guys broadcasting too, and hope to see everybody next week.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to having you. Thanks for coming in. Glad we got everything worked out on the technical side. And, yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
That was William Eads, third-place finisher. Still not seeing Matt Grimm here. Kind of like Jack Anderson said, he was a little
here
pissed.
and left.
Yeah, he was not happy with Jack Anderson. What do you think he's thinking right now? What do you think is the frustration from him?
I mean, I gotta imagine there's gonna be frustration. Don't know if he went back and looked at it. Maybe that changes it for him a little bit. I don't know. At the end of the day, you're leading the thing here at Eldora, right? If you're Matt Grimm, it's gonna happen. It's just inevitable. I mean, who wouldn't? I feel like I can speak for all three of us here and say we would all probably do the same thing going for that win, especially when you think of it. Like we just heard from William Eads, he went back, did some tape study, if you will, like he's sitting down in Tuscaloosa at Alabama with Nick Saban, scheming these guys and how they drive. So, you got a new guy in the league behind you. He's probably going to throw it all out there for the win, and that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say earlier? You only got to lead that last lap, right? So, I mean, I think for Matt, it's more of just the frustration of, man, I led all those laps, and I didn't walk away with that checkered. So I think that's part of it. I think there may have been some contact, may have not been at some points. Kind of hard to tell from our seats, but I think that kind of stems a lot of it, with the frustration from him.
Yeah, absolutely, and we definitely understand it. It's tough racing here in the TCR Sprint Car Series. Well, fellas, I know this was our first race together as a broadcast booth. I know this came together at the very last second, but I think it went pretty good, so appreciate you guys being out here.
Absolutely, Davis. Thank you for having us, and looking forward to the next opportunity down the road.
Absolutely. Well, that next race is going to be next week. Trying to find that next race. Oh, yeah, we're going to be at the Volusia Speedway Park down in Florida. That's it's in Jake's stomping grounds, so looking forward to being down at the Volusia Speedway. So from everyone here at Grease Vision, Davis Warren, we will catch you next week.